Welcome to your video on multiplying polynomials found on page 5 in your red booklet. For our notes today, you can see in your booklet that we have one problem, but there's a lot of space. So I'm just going to show you two different methods that you can use to multiply these two polynomials. So the first thing I want you to notice is that we have a binomial, which is two terms, multiplied by a trinomial, which is three terms. So method one, I am going to call the double distribute method. And I hope that that terminology makes sense to you, because basically what we are doing is we are distributing, but first I'm going to take the 10a and distribute that. And then second, I'm going to take the negative 3 and distribute that. So I'm going to have a lot of different terms that eventually I'll have to combine. So I'm going to do the red lines first. So 10a times 5a squared is 50a to the third. And then I'm going to multiply 10a times 7a, which is 70a to the second. Remember, we we add the exponents. And then I multiply the 10a times the negative 1, which is a negative 10a. So that's my first distribute. Now the double distribute is when I multiply the negative 3. And remember that negative sign is connected to the 3. And when I do this, I know that I'm going to have to combine like terms. So I'm going to stack up the like terms so that it's just easier to add in the end. So the first green little loop there, I've got negative 3 times 5a squared, which is negative 15a squared. And notice I'm just stacking it up with the a squared term. And then negative 3 times positive 7a is minus 21a. Again, stacking that up. And then our last green loop is a negative 3 times plus 3. So now I'm just going to combine like terms. I have 50a to the third. Nothing can combine with that. I've got 70 minus 15, which is 55a to the second. I combine the a's, negative 10a, negative 21a, which is negative 31a, and then plus 3 just comes down. So double distribute. Method number 2, some of you learned how to multiply by using the box method. And so this might be a strategy that will help you sort through the multiplication. So down the side here, I'm going to put 10a and negative 3. So I'm just looking at the two terms from the binomial. And then along the top, I'm going to put 5a squared, 7a, and negative 1. And then all we have to do to fill in the boxes is just multiply. So for this first box here, right here, I'm going to multiply 5a squared times 10a. So that gives us 50a to the third. And then for the next box, I'm going to multiply the 7a times the 10a. So 70a to the second. And then you multiply the negative 1 times the 10a, which is negative 10a. For the bottom row, starting in this box, I'm going to take negative 3 times times positive 5a squared. So negative 15a squared. Negative 3 times 7a is negative 21a. And then negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3. Now, all you have to do is combine like terms again. The a to the third doesn't have any like terms, so that box, I'm done with that one. And then the a squareds get combined. Again, 70a squared minus 15a squared is plus 55a squared. So those boxes are done. Combine the a's, negative 31a, those boxes are done. And then the plus 3. So if the box method is something that you are familiar with from learning how to multiply back in elementary and middle school, it works just the same for polynomials. So you can either decide box method, I guess I should write that for method 2. So box method or the double distribute, whichever one you like better. So now let's take a look at page 16 in the red booklet. And now is the chance for you to kind of just test what you've learned. So press pause and answer this first question. And then when you're ready, you can resume to see if you are correct. So for number 1, you can either double distribute and combine like terms. Combine like terms. I didn't write the word like, but I think you know what I mean. Or you can use the box method plus combine like terms. And then make sure you know that all of our answers need to be in standard form, highest degree to lowest degree. All right, a couple chances for you to practice. Again, I would like you to press pause and just practice how to multiply here. And then when you press play, you can see if you're correct. So in part A, this is just kind of a review. It's just a simple distribution. So we do 10x to the second plus 20x to the third minus 40x to the fifth. However, unfortunately, this one is not done because we have to convert it to standard form, which means we're going to completely reverse it. So I have negative 40x to the fifth plus 20x to the third plus 10x to the second. So always be where you want your answer in standard form. All right, this next problem, I think I'm going to do the double distribute just because, I don't know, just because. But if you want to do the boxes, go ahead and do the boxes. So for double distributing, I'm going to do all the blue loops first. So 2y times y squared is 2y to the third. 2y times negative 6y is negative 12y to the second. And then 2y times 7 is 14y. Then, just slide this down here. Sorry about that. Now I need room for my bottom loops. I have to take this negative 3 and I have to distribute that to each of the terms. So while I do this, I'm going to stack them up so that they are lined up with their like terms. So negative 3 times y squared is negative 3y squared. Negative 3 times negative 6y is positive 18y. And then negative 3 times positive 7 is negative 21. So now I just combine the like terms and they're all stacked up, ready to go. So 2y to the third minus 15y to the second plus 10, 20, 32y minus 21. In our next example, we are asked to find the area of a rectangle. An area is length times width. And in this case, we have our length and our width. I guess it doesn't matter which one's which. We just know we have to multiply the two expressions. So the area is going to be 3w times 4w minus 9. This is just a simple distributive property. So our area is 12w to the second minus 27w. So that would be the expression for the area. So this concludes your notes and warm-up for multiplying polynomials, and you can now work on your practice.